What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. A few days ago I posted a question in the community section here on this channel asking subscribers for feedback as to future video topics that they'd like to see me cover here on this channel. And I got a lot of great replies, and I got about 25 video topic ideas that I plan on covering in the next month, maybe 2 months, 3 months down the road. Hopefully I can get that done in a month, but you know how things go. Lots of things going on, lots of work to do, so sometimes I get behind. But hopefully I can get most of those topics that you all suggested covered within the next couple of months. However, one video topic stuck out to me this morning. I was going over that list and writing those down, and I thought this would be a good topic to cover here in today's video to start off this series of videos that has been suggested by subscribers. With everything going on, lots of bad news, lots of depressing stuff going on, I thought this would be a great topic to cover in today's video because it isn't really depressing. It is about prepping. However, it's not one of the depressing type topics to cover. And the topic is, if I won the lottery, what would I buy prep wise? What would I do prep wise? And I went online and looked at the Tennessee Powerball lottery, and the prize right now is $183 million. Now granted, some of that would be taxes and things like that, and I'm not going to win the lottery because I don't play the lottery. However, I thought it would be a good topic to make an interesting video about that you all might find entertaining and maybe interesting, entertaining, and hopefully informative. But anyway, if I won the Powerball lottery, and like I said, the Tennessee Powerball is standing right now at $183 million. So you could pretty much right now take that cash payout and buy pretty much whatever you want it to prep wise. And the first thing I would buy is the property across the road over here from me, or a similar property. The property is just about 200 acres. It is nice, rolling, fairly level but still rolling farmland, and connected to that is a national forest. So, and it has 2 farm ponds on that property. It has good ground to grow crops on that property, so I'd buy that property across the road from me, or a similar property of at least 150 to 200 acres of property. Like I said in the video here a few days ago, here where I am right now, I have 3 acres of property, and while I'm happy with it, you know, I can do pretty much anything I want to do, I would like to have more property. If I had to do over again, I would buy more property with less house on that property. But that's the first thing I would do, is buy that property across the road or a similar property. Then I would build a 2,000 square foot home on that property. I wouldn't want a big humongous house. I wouldn't want to show off my wealth or anything like that. Just a 2,000 square foot home. And I would make sure that home was fortified. You couldn't tell it was fortified by looking at the outside, but I would make sure that it was a hardened structure that could withstand gunfire and things like that. Hopefully it never comes to that, but if I had the money to throw into the building a home, it would have bulletproof hardening type features. It'd also be fireproof. I would have that built out of concrete reinforced structure with the outside looking like any other home around this area for camouflage purposes. I would also have a full-size basement under that home with a secret hidden storage room for food storage and supplies and gear storage. I would also have an escape tunnel leading from the basement, a secret escape tunnel leading out from that basement structure out approximately 100, 200 yards away from the home. It would come out in a secret location where I could escape if needed. Hopefully it never comes to that, but this is a hypothetical question. I'm never going to win the lottery, never going to be able to do all this, but I thought you all might find it interesting to talk about this in the comments below, what you would do if you won the lottery, and to hear some of the things that I would do. The next thing I would do after building that home is to build 2 more similar homes on the property. One for my mother and one for my brother and his family. They wouldn't be exactly like mine, but they'd be similar to the same thing I had going on. And I would also build next on this list, number 4 on my list. I have 10 things on this list that I would do. Number 4 on the list is I would build a community home. This would be another structure, probably 3,000, 4,000 square feet. It would have a kitchen, bathroom, and things in that structure, but also have more sleeping quarters. This would be for the rest of my group, the rest of my family that would come needing a place to stay, and you want to have extra space for those people that show up. As long as they would be willing to help out, willing to work, and willing to pull their own load, then they would be welcome up to the capacity that I had in my community building and on my property. Next thing I would do is I put a chain link fence around the whole property. Chain link fence around the whole property, and the fence wouldn't really look like a fortification because a lot of properties here have fences around the property. It's a common occurrence. Even though a chain link fence isn't as common, row wire fence is more common and barbed wire fences are more common around this area. I would like to have a chain link fence put around the whole property. And I would have a walkway made around the property to be able to walk and patrol that property, or patrol that property on horseback. You want to be able to control that property line, and you want to be able to have pathways and roadways made where you could repair that fence, because things happen. You know, a tree could fall across the fence. You might have to get to that and be able to repair that. You don't want to have to take and drag all of your supplies, carry it on your back and things through the woods trying to get to that area of the fence, for example. And I want to have roads made, or at least good wide pathways, where you could take, you know, SUVs and things, ATVs, in that area to get to that fence to repair that and to patrol that area around your property. Next, number 6, I would have a large hidden underground bunker built. This would be, like I said, hidden underground bunker. Most people in the group wouldn't know about this bunker. It'd be top secret for me and very close family members. So I'd like to have a large bunker, underground bunker, with a secret entrance into that bunker. Underground, completely concealed from view, from the eye, from anyone else walking on the property or anything. I want that bunker to be as secretive as possible. I would have 2 wells drilled, 2 water wells drilled. Water isn't an issue in this area. In fact, behind that property over there, like I was talking about, is a national forest, and that property and the national forest are separated by a large river. So water isn't an issue, and I've talked about this before on this channel. Over there on the other side of my property over here, there is a large creek. Up this way, another large creek, and up the road a little farther from that is another large river. So there's no shortage of water here where I am. Actually own a creek that goes across my property right down here. So water isn't an issue where I am, and it's not an issue at the other property over there either. But like I said, that property or similar property, I would still want to have 2 wells drilled. Preferably, one of the wells would be drilled as I was building my home on that property. And I want that well drilled through where the property is going to be built, where I can go down into the basement area and have that well and have that house plumbed to run off of that well with, of course, solar power. Let's see, number 8, I would have self-reliance infrastructure put in place on that property. You know, like barns, chicken coops, greenhouses, raised bed garden areas and things like that on that property to become self-sufficient on that property as humanly possible. Number 9 on that list, I would buy a separate but smaller bug out location, say about 20 acres or so, 20 or 40 acre bug out location that are separated from my permanent larger location that I talked about here in this video. Preferably in a different state and possibly even in a different country, but most likely in a separate state, a separate location. And I want this to be completely secret location that no one else knew about besides me and my immediate family, because you never know when, even though you put in security where you are, you put in infrastructure where you are, you might have to escape. and I'd want to have a smaller, fortified, hidden bug out location for me and my immediate family to escape to if need be. Number 10 on this list, I would want to have a small runway where I could buy my own airplane and get a pilot's license where I can fly that airplane, because I don't know how to fly an airplane. I can drive a car, I can ride a motorcycle, I can ride ATVs, I can ride tractors, I can run forklifts, I can run a backhoe, but I cannot fly an airplane as at this point in my life. So I'd definitely get a license, learn how to fly that plane. A license wouldn't be necessary if I was escaping, but you're going to need to have a license to actually learn and to be able to fly now to stay in practice with that plane. But anyway, I would have a small runway built, and I would buy a small airplane to be able to escape to that hidden bug out location. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on that. I wanted to put down 10 things. I could go on and on and on and on, but I know that you all don't have all day to listen to my prepping fantasies, but I thought you might find it interesting. I'd like to know what you think about the things I talked about here, and I would also like to see your own thoughts in the comment section below. What would you do if you won the Powerball lottery? What would you buy prep-wise? I don't want to hear things like buying a Lamborghini or things like that. I want it to be prep related, since this is a prepping channel. So what would you buy? What would you do? What infrastructure would you put in? Where would you go if you had, say, $75 or $100 million to put towards prepping? Anyway, guys, know what you think in the comments below, and go right over here and watch this next video. And be sure to check out my website, Creekmore.com. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you found the video at least entertaining. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks, guys, for watching. Creekmore, I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.